Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Habs Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 131. What do you have on the menu, coach, today? We have a lot. First of all, we're going to talk about the reviewing day number 1 at the main camp. We're going to talk a little bit more about the day number 2 and friend other players have to have maybe now to step up inside of the roster for upcoming season. So don't go nowhere. But before we start, you know the drill. You've been here before. Please click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the episode number 131 and the Montreal Canadiens, what's going on for the first day of the camp. And finally, please sharing this video on your social media. Let's dive in talking about the first subject of the day. First of all, guys, I want to mention one thing. Because I live in Thailand, I'm about always like 11 hours, 12 hours behind you. I could do a recap of the day right away, the morning, like it would be evening, but I still want to consider what I'm doing every day. I deliver a video at 11 o'clock, and unfortunately, I have to go backwards with whatever happening in my continents. Some what you hear, unfortunately, you going already knew what's going on. At least I want to express my opinion about what's going on around the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, guys, they have already 5 players is on the injury for the Montreal Canadiens. We know after a collision between Joel Edmondson and Nick Suzuki. Both of them are out. Suzuki could be about around 2 weeks. Joel Edmondson look like is a lower back problem, is out indefinitely, but he said he feel a little bit better. It was Thursday. Josh Anderson and Jake Evans are both day-to-day, and we are now know Sean Monahan is not clear to participate to the session on the ice. Is going to be on the conditioning training for a couple of days. Now, day number 1, it was a test on the ice, and Martin St-Louis used the John Tortorella drill, what he learned when he was play for him. And it's about strength testing with speed, but of course with endurance. And the reason why he talked about this, Martin St-Louis, was the purpose behind, is because he talked about the fact it's all about the mental. It's all about never give up and pushing each other. It's to build our own culture, not only for this year, but a long term for the Montreal Canadiens. And he mentioned it's really important, those kind of drill it's always about. We want to be sure the player understand what we want to build here under the Montreal Canadiens. And I think he's right. I think everything in hockey or in any sport is start with a mindset. The way you build the team by the product you want to sell to the players, your system, the way we do the things here. The player is going to buy it. Is it going to be all in if they really trust the coach? It's all about the communication. I always said when I was coaching, listen, guys, I'm the driver, the boss, but this bus cannot go nowhere without the passenger. You are the one make this bus better every single day to go farther if you want to reach the final destination, where is the national and USA. In the same way, the final destination for the Montreal Canadiens is the Stanley Cup. I don't say they're going to win it, but it's about the progression. It's about development. It's to get better every single day. That's the way they need to be ready for this year. And as the fans, we just need to be patient. You have only one team winning. I just always believe, always have that kind of mindset or attitude. What it takes to win the Stanley Cup, what it takes to win the National, what you need to, all the effort, and it start at the first day of the camp. And that's what Martin said we want to implant in the mind of each player. You have an amazing, great speech Wednesday night, and the players was fired up when they get out after they hear what Martin St-Louis was talking about. I just want to sharing my feeling about day number 1 and the way Martin St-Louis run it. One player, it was really impressed guy, it was Mike Madison after what Martin St-Louis said, because the situation with Joel Edmondson could be or could become a problem for the Montreal Canadiens. Now he need to step up more. He's going to possible have a bigger role inside the Montreal Canadiens for upcoming season. We know he got trade again, Jeff Petrie, Rand Poland, but before this trade, he learned a lot. And when he played with the Pittsburgh Penguins, he said what Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang talked to him about what it takes to win, what it takes to build, to become a professional player, what it takes to give, to back to the teammate, and everything as what it takes to become a better leader inside the locker room. He said this was priceless. That will help me here inside this locker room for the Montreal Canadiens to bring some kind of leadership for the youngest in that team. He said, I'm really excited to be a part of the Montreal Canadiens and to be coached by Martin Saint-Louis and Stéphane Robitaille. So I don't said he's going to be, the best defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens, but at some point, he had a great year with the Pittsburgh Penguins with 11 goals last year. It was his best season for the number of the point in 1 year. And he wants to increasing that offensive side of this game. He wants to get more. He wants to produce more on the productivity on the point for this upcoming season. And I think for me, Mike Madison is a great mindset of offensive. His transition is great, can carry on the puck very well. Where he struggled, honestly, is on defensive zone coverage. At some point, he turned the puck a lot. Is a turnover. Overall, I believe Mike Madison is going to be a great leader for the Montreal Canadiens. It would possible have a bigger role now if ever Joel Edmondson is not ready for the upcoming season. We wish the best for Joel Edmondson. I think is a big pillar on the foundation of the defensive for the Montreal Canadiens for the upcoming season. Let's move on for the next subject of the day. So, like I said, I'm a little bit late for what happening, but I'm a little bit earlier what it was happening. So today I want to talk about day number 2, what we heard. They have 2 sessions today on the ice, 9 o'clock a.m. and 1 o'clock p.m. We're going to follow everything what happening. We're going to report everything for day number 2, of course, for the next Habs Daily News. And because the situation, guys, with injuries, this is a great opportunity for all the prospects, whatever they are, forward or defenseman. I think a guy like Owen Beck, in fact, Jake Haven is out and Nick Suzuki is out. Right there, they have too old to put other players, and that will give maybe a chance for Owen Beck or Jan Mizak to jump in and take their spot during the time they are out at the lineup for the Montreal Canadiens. So we'll be interested in what Owen Beck is, what he's going to do for day number 2. Another player we're going to follow for day number 2 is going to be, honestly, Sapkowski, what it will look like. And we know they have FRENCHY, the drill is going happening today. We're going to give you, of course, everything what happening. And for Sapkowski, it's a great opportunity now to show belong to the NHL. So Sapkowski, whatsoever people say, oh, you have a so-so rookie camp. I like what I saw the rookie camp. You cannot define sometimes the player by the number of the goal. You define a player by the way he does the details of the game. And I think for me, Sapkowski did very well overall at the rookie camp. Of course, Owen Beck, Philippe Mazar, Albert, Trudeau, Simoneau have a great camp. But for me, Sapkowski have a good camp in Buffalo for the Montreal Canadiens. Then I want to finish this subject with the defenseman side. Because now, if Edmondson is out, there's a huge spot to fill up. And I think that opened the door for Harris and Kaden Cooley. We know already Justin Barron should be at the right side on the defensive for the Montreal Canadiens. Can Leskinen or Schoeneman step up? There's a 2 veteran players we're going to see if they can. But honestly, for the prospect like Jordan Harris and Kaden Cooley, this is a great, great opportunity for them to have a spot for the upcoming season, 2022-2023 for the Montreal Canadiens. Let's move on now, guys, for the next subject of the day. I know, you're going to say it again, oh, coach, you're always talking that way. It would never happen. And I understand this one over there. But sometimes you have to look overview what's going on around left and right. We know Montreal always have injury. Last year, remember, at the beginning of the camp, Gallagher was not ready. Price was hurt. You got Joel Edmondson was not there last year. You have a lot of injury. Mike Hoffman did not start the camp last year properly. And this continues all the way during the season with Jake Allen and then Josh Anderson. I can go this list all the way. I understand you have to be cautious sometimes. You have to maybe wait a little bit longer. But when you look around, guys, the Flyers are possible and the trouble without Sean Couturier for the rest of the year. Possible for Montreal Canadiens, they have something they can give to them, maybe to help, and Montreal can get something bigger in return. What are you talking about again, coach? Listen, I understand. I'm not saying what's happening. I just talk a trade bait between you and me. But I would consider at some point, if the Flyers cannot find another center in NHL for the beginning of the season, possible Christian Dvorak could become a big asset or a player. What possible the Flyers could look to fill up the spot at Sean Couturier. We know Dvorak have still 2 more years, a little bit over $4 million AAV, fit very well on the salary cap. Yeah, but Montreal, what they have, I understand Monahan maybe not ready yet. We have Jake Evans, and we have Kirby Dack, and we have Nick Suzuki. But I think for all the players I just mentioned to you, only no one can be traded at this moment until the trade deadline for possible Monahan. Whatsoever it is, for security, yes, Dvorak should be with Montreal. But if you want to go a little bit thinking longer, sometimes you have to think twice if you have something good in return. And what, coach, what do you get in return? But I said, of course, they're not going to trade the first round pick. But a second round pick for the Flyers, what I expect they're going to finish at the bottom 3 in NHL. That gave the same thing what they got last year, the 33 overall pick for the Montreal Canadiens. They could get 33, 34, or 35th. That's great hockey player on this year of the NHL Draft 2023. And that's possible open the door. Or you can give to Flyers possibility if they make the playoff for the upcoming year. And we know it's almost impossible, but you never know. But the Montreal Canadiens get the first round pick. That could be a conditional between the Flyers and the Montreal Canadiens. Then I would consider to add Owen McLaughlin. Come on, coach. What the heck is this Flyers? Listen, guys, I'm going to go back on my under the computer here. Of course, they're not going to get their best top prospect in return. But McLaughlin, he was draft 7 overall pick, guys, by the Flyers. Last season, he played for the COCD Musketeer and the USHL. He has 72 points in 62 games. He's going to play now for the University of North Dakota for the upcoming season. He's a 6 foot, 165, but he's really shifty and he's really quick. I don't say he's going to become an NHL player, but if you get a guy like this, you never know how he can develop the next 2-3 years because he's going first to play an NCAA. I would involve that player and that trade if I can use. But I think a player like Owen McLaughlin could find a way to be traded to the Montreal Canadiens if the Flyers are open about him and to give the second round pick for Christian Dvorak. Right now, the Montreal Canadiens drive that trade. They drive the bus, honestly, because they don't have to trade. Flyers, they need to looking for a center. So possible Montreal gets something good in return. But again, can Montreal wait a little bit longer to see possible if they were have a better year compared last season whatsoever? He finished strong with under Martin Saint-Louis with 17 points and 21 games. That possible is asset increasing during the year and possible they can pick up a first round pick and return. But again, we don't know what could happen in the future, and maybe possible Dvorak, whatever he plays second or third line with Montreal Canadiens, maybe not get that kind of point he did at the end of the season last year with the Montreal Canadiens. This was the last subject of the day of the episode 131. Here we go, guys. This concludes another Habs Daily News. A bit longer today because we have a lot of subject to talk about. But before we leave, we want to invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, leave me a comments about this video, and of course, remember, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing day, everybody.